Our next inductee is a 1975 graduate of Gilroy High School. Soccer, senior varsity letter winner. 2 years football, letter winner. 4 years lettering in golf. 4 years lettering in hockey. Multiple all-conference and all-state awards. In 1975, senior year, goalie of the third place finish in the state tournament. Member of the boys hockey all-tournament team. Member of the 1980 Olympic gold medal, Miracle on Ice. Our next inductee, Steve Janaszak.
Not that tall. So now we get to see, I'm not as eloquent as a pitcher is. See what happens when you hit in the head with too many pucks every year. Last time I stood before a crowd in this building to talk to anybody was Mrs. Fisher's English class. She was teaching us the rules of debate, and my team was selected to argue in favor of intelligent alien life in the universe. I can only hope these next couple of minutes go better than that. Mr. Leffner, President Hanson, Principal Herman, I saw you earlier, members of the boards of trustees, foundation board, past inductees and fellow inductees. A special congratulations to Hannah. I don't know where you are. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations on being named assistant coach here. I'll tell you what, look at that resume. That is a Hall of Fame resume, okay? I do not have a Hall of Fame resume. That is a Hall of Fame resume. I don't know how many girls programs in the country have Olympic gold medal winners working in the programs, but this program is really fortunate to have you be a member of that coaching staff. Some family members are here. First thing, I'd like to recognize my mom. It always has been and always will be my biggest fan. Not hard being a goaltender's mother. My sister Mary and her husband Brian Carmichael, their daughter Molly Carmichael, and my sister Louise Kegley. Little sister Jeannie could not be here today, but Brian, Mary, Louise, Jimmy Kegley, all their kids are Hillary grads, part of sports programs and cheerleading programs and everything. Big part of the Hillary family from years ago. In particular, I'd like to thank Louise and Mary for letting me win all those sock hockey games that we played when I was growing up. You fed my overwhelming need to win. And that's probably one of the major reasons that I'm able to stand here today. I don't know what I would have done if you guys would have beat me. Probably still be sitting in the corner somewhere sucking my thumb. Also like to thank a few guys who played a major role along the way. Jim, you mentioned my father. Okay, my father, Larry Janaszak, was a great hockey player at St. Paul Johnson in his day. He'd take his young son down to the local Sunrise Park middle school rink at night after dinner, drive the old Rambler down there, turn the lights of the Rambler on, and skate with his son in the dark until I was too tired to skate. Dad would really appreciated being here and seeing this award today. Like to thank his friend, late Wes Barrett, who coached just down the road here at Hayden Heights Playground, coached the midget hockey team. Wes gave a young grade school kid from the far north of White Bear Lake a chance to come down and play with the high school tough kids from the east side. Quite an eye-opener. And there, I think, connected with Andre Blue. I don't know if he was here, but I'd like to thank him for giving a number of us a chance to play as freshmen when we came into the school. Terry Skrypek. I'd like to thank Coach Skrypek, who took over from Andre. Guided our 1975 team to the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, which was the first time that a private school got to play at the Big Dance. It was a tremendous accomplishment. Thank you. Of course, last but not least, I'd like to thank Warren Strelo and Herb Brooks for sticking with me at the University of Minnesota until I could unlock an on-ice performance that they contended they knew was there all along. Personally, I had my doubts about that. We all learned a lot of lessons in high school, and some of these have already been touched on today. First is to never, ever give up. From Andre, from Scooter, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Rowlick, Mr. Aschenbrenner, Steve Fricke, the Wolves, Brother Martin, Brother Arnold, Brother Francis. I mean, this, all you got, I'm leaving out that this was the spirit of Hillmurray High School. I trust it is still the spirit. You never, ever give up, not in any task, not in any job, not in your faith. That is the big lesson that I brought from my time here. The next lesson, a little bit more important to me. Never ever, when you're warming up before a game, deflect the puck up over the ice into the crowd. Now, not as relevant today because they have nets. One night at Aldrich, we were warming up. Fozzie, might have been you, took a slap shot from the point. I deflected. I'm watching the arc of the puck goes up over the glass, up to the top row of the arena where it hits my little sister Jeannie square in the down like a sack of potatoes. I thought I killed her. Friends took her out for stitches. I promptly gave up 4 or 5 goals. It was not. And the final lesson I learned, very personal to me, never pack a bottle of champagne in your hockey bag to bring it to the final game. Learned that one here in 1974. Very nasty lesson. I'd like you to humor an old goaltender here because I clearly have been hit in the head with too many hockey pucks. I've reached out, what's a goaltender do? Reaches out to his defenseman, to his former teammates for some anecdotes. Seriously, my athletic resume does not deserve this. I was 0-3 in big games when I left here. But Coach Freitag got us the first state tournament back in 1975. And I'd like you to humor this old goaltender as I share some stories from Mark Klausner, from Mark Grothe, from some of Rod Romachuk, my former teammates. For Rod Romachuk, his favorite memory was Coach Ballou. When Andre was a little pissed off, he'd come to the middle of the ice and say, "No puck today, we skate." I don't know if it was the anticipation of skating for the next 90 minutes, or if it was the French-Canadian omission of the S plural on the end of the word puck. But no puck we skated was terrifying. And we skated a lot. Defenseman Mark Grothe would like us to remind our former athletic director, Brother Francis, of the letter that Brother Francis sent him regarding a magnificent 75 that was carved into the sod before we were ready to graduate. Now, you do not look like a threatening guy, but this was an interesting letter. I think the operative phrase was, "Please have the money to repair the landscape waiting for me when I return to school." Rod Romachuk added he recalled that Brother Francis correctly surmised that it must have been some of our athletes on a drinking spree. Hard to put one bias to those old Christian brothers. Fozzie offered one of Coach Ballou's favorite checking drills. On an outdoor rink at the Old Hill High School, he would line up the forwards by the boards at the far blue line, defensemen in the middle of the ice, the red line. The forwards had to skate up the boards with the puck and let the defense engage them at center ice. And our freshman year, we had Davey Langevin and Dickie Stanbrook. They would routinely launch half the forwards up over the boards into the snowbank. And Andre would stand in the center ice and get a little chuckle. Fozzie also offered this from Coach Freitag after the 1975 tournament. We finished third. I think this tournament was a rewarding experience for all of us. After losing Friday, apparently that was the semifinal game to Grand Rapids. That's another one that is a recurring nightmare of mine. Our kids wanted to represent the school well, and I think they did that when they came back and won the third place game against a very strong opponent. The reason I'm sad is I hate to see the seniors go. I think the school owes them an awful lot. They've done everything with us and more. Thank you, Scott. In closing, what I'd like to share with you is, as a goaltender, goaltender is a unique position. More than any other position, I know what everybody is doing on the ice all the time. I mean, all the shots the defensemen block, whether the forwards are back checking or they're not. You know, everything that's going on. And yet, I can stand there and get hit with a shot I didn't see, fall on it, get a whistle, and because of that one random chance event, I can become the hero of the game. You have to trust me on that one. That's happened more often than I care to admit. We goaltenders, we live right on the edge of randomness. That's why we're always a little crazy. So, acknowledging my athletic resume does not deserve this award, but that the 1975 team does deserve it. I'd like to dedicate this award to them. In my humble opinion, it is still one of the best teams that this great program has ever produced. So this honor is dedicated to my former teammate, late Mark Sheik, Coach Skrypek, and the rest of the members of the 75 team. So proud to be remembered with you guys after all these years. So, Fozzie, David, other guy, if you want to come up and join me here, we're going to take a picture. Thank you very much.